Hi everyone, in this episode I'm going to make a keto apple pie. So let's get started. Okay, so we've got all our ingredients out, and I guess one of the heroes of this pie is the humble choco. That is what's going to make our apple, and I'm going to get this prepared under time lapse. So we've now prepared the chokos. So I've just peeled them and then taken the centre out of them and chopped them up into bite sizes. I'm just going to cover that with the juice of 1 lemon. And then we'll get onto putting it all into a hot pan. Okay, so we're going to make the filling of the apple pie. Just to note though that if you do prepare chokos, you may get this kind of reaction that happens on your hands. I've read up about it and apparently it's quite normal for some, so it's best to use gloves when you're peeling your chokos if you don't want that to happen. Just going to put the cooktop on, and we're going to add 45 grams of unsalted butter into our pot. And we'll pop in half a cup of Xylitol, which is our preferred sweetener, so you can use whichever works for you. And we'll just melt those two cooktop. Okay, so then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of the cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of the mixed spices, and 2 teaspoons of the vanilla extract. Just turn the top down to a low heat. I'm just going to add in our chokos. Just give that a stir around. we want to cover the chokos in all of that liquid. Okay, and we're just going to leave that now to cook until the chokos are soft. Whilst our choco is over here cooking in that sauce, just give that a stir. We'll get started on the base or the dough. So just need 3 1/4 cup of almond flour. Just 1/3 of a cup of xylitol. Just a pinch of salt. Okay, so that's all of our dry ingredients. And now we'll add the wet ingredients. So that is 1/2 cup. Half of this block of butter. Two large eggs that I've been sitting out of the fridge to make sure that they're not eggy when they cook. And we'll just add a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And then we just want to mix that all together. I like to use my hands just to rub that butter in. To use 1/3 of this dough for our lid, so just going to set that aside, and the rest will be our base. These a stir, and I'll just test to see if they're soft. So what we want to do is to keep going until the chokos are soft. So they're not quite soft enough yet. Okay. So I'll just do a quick clean up and we'll get ready to roll out the dough. So I'm going to just grease the bottom of this pan with some butter. And then I'm going to also line it. So I've just cut the edges so the edges can go in as neatly as possible. Okay, that's all good to go. Just going to pop on some fresh gloves so we can roll out this dough. So with the larger one, I'm just going to push it around the bottom and then up the sides. In here today, so the butter's actually really melted, just making it a little harder to push around. We're just going to get that into the oven now and blind bake that for 10 minutes at 170 degrees. Just checking our chokos. Okay, they're nearly ready. Okay, so with the remaining dough, we need to make our lid. So we're just going to grab that last remaining dough out. And because it is so sticky, we will cover that with some almond meal or almond flour. That out to the size of the pan that we're using. Okay, so that should fit as a lid. We'll pop that over the top when we fill the pie up. Okay, so that's 10 minutes that our base has been in the oven. I'm just going to check that. As you'll see, it isn't quite done yet, so we might give that another 10 minutes. And we'll prepare the choko in the meantime. So using the food processor, we're going to take 3/4 of the mixture out and give that a blend. So we want some chunks, but we want a lot of smooth mixture as well. that's about 3/4. Just going to pop that on until it's smooth. As you'll see now, we've got a nice smooth texture, and we'll pop those chunks in as well, so it becomes a nice sort of meaty apple pie, choco pie. So I've just checked the bottom of the pie and we're ready to pull that out. So you'll see that that's a nice golden brown texture. And we're just going to now fill that up with our apple choco. Spread that out nice and smoothly. And then we'll add the rest of the chunks in on the top with the rest of that beautiful juice. Over. And now we'll go ahead and put the lid on. Very nicely. That. So pop it into the oven for 40 to 50 minutes on the lowest rack. So I'll check back in with you once it's cooked. Okay, it's been 45 minutes and we have our apple pie out of the oven. Looks pretty darn good. Just going to check inside. Looks great. So we're going to let that cool now for about 15 to 20 minutes until we can touch it and take it out of the pan to be able to cut it up. So I've just taken that out of the pan and popped it onto the bench and peeled back the paper. All looks very good. Just give it a slice. And there we have it. Lovely warm keto choco pie.